Anyhow, how you doing, everybody? DommyGun, Rici here, rambling and gambling. Today is Saturday, June 4th. I decided to do a little video on something that has become very close in my life, very important in my life, and it's a discussion that I think is something people could think about and maybe something they might like to try out or try to get together, and that is being part of a betting crew. Now, what I mean by that term, a betting crew, it could be a few people, could be a lot of people, but the idea is to handicap together, bounce different ideas off of each other, and try to get to that common goal of making the correct pick, making the correct handicap, and hopefully in the long run they equate to winning wagers. So I mean that's really the goal. Last night myself, and DJ Big Boss did a little show about cardinal rules of handicapping, and one of the things we were talking about was was the emotion of it, and not get too high on yourself and not get too low on yourself. Regarding winning streaks or losing streaks. And when you're with a betting crew, when you're with a bunch of guys, that it helps because people are going through the same thing you are. People are if you're honest with each other, they're telling you that you're getting a little carried away. They'll tell you to slow down. They'll tell you, different things. They'll help you get back on track if that's what's needed. So being part of a betting crew, to me, is very important. The way I became part of a betting crew was organically, and it really is like a lot of the people that are part of our betting crew, and that is, and what's the other topic? The other topic of this video is, who are the Lowbaggers? Well, for those of you who do not know, the Lowbaggers are a betting crew that started about 5 years ago, just by guys like me getting, finding someone that was doing what we like. That's handicapping games, that's talking about betting, that's trying to make this sports betting more of just a hobby, but more of a, source of income, more of a, for me, it's like a part-time job like I've talked about before. So, and with plenty of the guys in our betting crew, this is a full-time job to them. So being part of a betting crew to me is very important. It's made me a lot better, a lot better bettor, and it's helped me immensely. And my record proves it since I started hanging out and capping with the crew that we call the Lowbaggers. Now, if you don't know who they are, well, we've been on YouTube for, like I said, for over 5 years. It started organically with a show that was back on the old SBR sportsbettingreview.com show with Peter Loshak and Jimmy the Bag, and it was called Betting with the Bag, and that show started out with, when I first found it, it was already on for, I think, 3 or 4 weeks, and there was a bunch of people watching it, but there wasn't really a real consistent a crew yet of people, 20, 30, 40 people that were coming in all the time. And the show was on 2 times a day back then. But when I found it, I seemed to be lucky enough to find it when I was making that transition from a recreational gambler to a handicapper, a real sports bettor, someone that is using this to, like I said, be part of my income. And it's become a part-time job, even a little bit more than that over the years. But I was lucky enough to find these guys. I was lucky enough to get in there on the ground floor, and from that day one that I started, I kept with them, and what we did was we followed Peter Loshak and Jimmy the Bag all through their journey, and and their separate journeys as things happen as we go along, and they really were the basis and formed this whole crew, and that's where we got the word Low, Peter Loshak, and Baggers, Jimmy the Bag, from, and that's how it started. And like I said, it's been 5 years, and basically Jimmy more than anything has been the real leader I call him our fearless leader of this whole thing because he stayed with it. He firmly believes in his heart that capping together makes us all better cappers, and he's proven that over the 5 years that he's been on YouTube, capping every game that's on the schedule. I mean, it's a pretty amazing thing when when you see a show go on for an hour, hour and a half, and you hit every NBA game, every NHL game, every MLB game, every NFL game. You know, all the college football games. Most of those get talked about. There's all different shows with every category, and the guys that we have are guys that if you don't know who they are, you will, because I will be having them little by little on this Rambling Gambling. I do want to do some interviews and let you introduce you to some of the best cappers that I don't think a lot of people really know about, and a lot of people should know more about us because we're a formidable crew, and our record proves it. And some of the guys, you know, have branched off into different entities, have branched off with different companies, doing shows with different people and stuff, but they still all started out from with us as the Lowbaggers, and they always will be. And there's a bunch of betting crews out there. I mean, and there's some good ones out there. We're not the only ones, but it's something that's definitely something that you people should think about and try to form your own betting crew. If you like to join us, you're more than welcome. Everything we do is free. I put out free plays on Twitter almost every day of the week. I would say 90% of my plays are out there on Twitter, for free. Sometimes I forget to put in the late, the late pick that that I might make and stuff. But most of the time, my picks are out there. They're talked about on Jimmy the Bag Show, which is on YouTube, which is now on Pub Sports Radio at 11 a.m. Eastern Time every day. And if you watch that, you'll get an idea more of what I'm talking about and what a special crew of guys this low bag crew is. Like I said, started out with maybe 40, 50 guys. That's now, consistently over 200 guys or so that and girls that are just like I said. Besides good friends, a bunch of them. Some of them became very good personal friends, but overall, even the new guys that came on this year, guys that came along over the last few years, and it was kind of crazy with everything that was going on. But a lot of new guys came along, and they were just as good. I love having the younger guys around. I follow some of them and what they do also. I'm never too big on myself that I can't learn, and I'm never too old to learn. So that's really again part of being a betting crew and why it's so important. I've been talked off of many games, and I had a wrong look on a game that I once talking it over with everybody. Before you click that button, you realize that what, they made some solid points. And listen, it's not like myself personally, I could talk about. It's not like I follow somebody just for their pick, and that's what I do. That's not really what I handicap my games, and then I love talking about them and seeing who's on what, and seeing who's against it and who's not against it. And sometimes it might lead me to not put the pick in. Sometimes it might lead me to, if the pick is already in, to add to it in a different way. I'm not one that increases my unit size. That's just part of my discipline, which is a topic we talked about as a cardinal rule in sports betting. But that's just something I don't do. But I will find a way to, for instance, a Yankee Tiger game today. Let's say, for instance, the line was too out of whack for this particular game, but just say in general a Yankee Tiger game. I might be betting the Yankees, and then after hearing different people talking about both teams, blah blah blah, I might add an overbet to that game and have 2 units on the game, but on 2 different bets, because of just talking it out. And something, I didn't realize that. I missed that point. We handicap and we try to do our best, but sometimes we miss stuff. And we're busy, or we don't have the time. And which So that all leads back into having a betting crew. That leads back into what we talk about as capping the cappers, because there are people that are very good in certain sports and they're not as good in others, and that's something that our low bag crew, we have people in every, in every area that is proven success stories. They have the shows, they're on Twitter, they have their records out there in public, and so it's not just someone saying one thing and not another. Another thing about the low bag crew, there's no more transparent guys out there. Not more. There might be some as transparent, but not more transparent than us, because that's just been a main thing, and that's something that, like again, our friend Jimmy the Bag started, instilling in everybody, because listen, there's no shame in having and losing, there's no shame in having bad streaks. There's no shame in knocking down your unit size and getting yourself back in stride again. Nothing wrong with none of that stuff. But being a part of a betting crew can help you out immensely. I am on Twitter, Dom541, DommyGun Rici here, and if anyone ever wants to DM me and ask some questions or talk about a specific subject or something to do with sports betting, I'm always glad and always available to discuss something with you, to tell you what I think about something. Obviously, I'm not the all knowing on sports betting, but I've been doing it for a while. It's something I concentrate on. It's something that I'm disciplined at, which I should be that way with every part of my life. But that's another show entirely. But anyhow, that's really the basis of this show. The basis of this little quick little video is betting crews, which I personally believe are a great thing to do. If you don't have anybody, but you're interested in joining our betting crew, you're welcome. Just like I said, hit me up on Twitter. I will guide you to the right guys to follow. I will guide you to the right shows to follow that I think and that I know have helped me. So I wouldn't tell you something that didn't help me, or follow somebody. I'm not getting paid from anybody. I don't work for any particular company or brand. So I'm just telling you like it is. I've been asked that question a few times because I do promote pub sports a lot, and I do because a lot of my friends are working for them now. So, and honestly, pub sports was smart enough. Not, I don't want to mention other companies, so to be disparaged on other places. But listen, pub sports was smart enough to tap into this whole low bag thing that we have going on and this crew, and they knew to tap into Jimmy the Bag, and everything else would fall into place, and they were smart about doing that. So major props to Pub Sports Radio. And no, I don't work for them at all. Like I said, I promote them because they do the right thing. They let guys cap. They let guys do shows the way they want to do them. They're not hung up on all this fluff and all this production, like as far as certain companies and sites that are on YouTube now. They're more worried about looking like ESPN, and more looking trying to get away from what we talk about and what our basis is, and that's sports betting, and that's against the spread. It's about winning bets. It's about getting better at winning bets. It's about not for me. It's not only to follow somebody's picks, but to break down, which I think I've done good at over the years, is figuring out how they got to that pick. Find out what their theories, what their steps are to handicapping. So that's all the things that that you learn and that you get better at when you're part of a betting crew. This show, Rambling Gambling, is going to be talking about all those kinds of things. I will be introducing you to a lot of different cappers. I will be talking about different ways, different approaches that we all have. And I'll tell you, there's a lot of different approaches that I know personally, just from my inner circle of guys, that I do different than they do. And God bless them. They're all doing well, and I've been holding my own. So, there's more ways to skin a cat, as they say. But, not to keep going on, drumming on the same subject, but yes, betting crews to me are great. If you have a guy or two, it start bouncing off with 2 or 3 years. That's a great thing. Just get online at night, or get on a little video chat and start breaking down games, and start asking questions. See, guys, I do pretty good in baseball. I'm going to talk about my process, how I break down games, how I handicap games. We'll be doing shows about all forms of sports betting and gambling, really A to Z. Even the bad stuff. We'll even be talking about, getting yourself caught up in the gambling world. And, there is a dark side. And, we're not going to, sugarcoat anything. And I am working on with DJ Big Boss. And it'll take a few months before we get it done, but we'll be getting a lot of questions from a lot of new bettors, and there are tons of new bettors out there. So we're gonna try to put together some kind of like workshop, some kind of beginning, steps for new gamblers to help them along. Stuff that we didn't have, stuff that we had to learn trial by error. With all the information out there now, and with all the experience that we have with our crew, I think we could put together something that would be helpful for a lot of people, and even the guys like us who, we've been betting a long time. But listen, we all go through streaks that aren't good. We all, sometimes we all stray away from our way of doing things, and it's always good to, get back to basics sometimes, as we said. Like I said, we talked about that in a show with the cardinal rules of gambling, because, there's definitely things that we all could follow. There's definitely things that we know as experienced bettors what we should do. But sometimes, like I say, you stray away, So that's what Rambling and Gambling is about. It's really a extension of what the Low Bag crew does with betting. And I just want to break it down. I don't want to just be another picks guy. There's too many good ones out there. I'd rather start getting us talking about how we get to that pick. Start talking about how to, navigate this crazy world of sports betting. So that's really the deal. This is Rici. This is Rambling and Gambling. This is the Bangin Sports Talk Network. And stay tuned for some more shows coming up. We'll be keeping going our live show on Friday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that should something we used to do in the past, and we started back up again. So hopefully we get that built up, and that's usually a lot of fun. So everybody have a good weekend. Hopefully you cash some of those tickets, and we will see you soon at Rambling and Gambling. Peace.